1963. A man in a small Turkish town decides to renovate his basement. He swings a sledgehammer at the wall. The concrete cracks, then crumbles. And behind it, darkness. Not just empty space, a tunnel, carved from stone, leading down into nothing. He grabs a flashlight, peers inside. The beam disappears into black. Cold air rushes out. Ancient, dusty, smelling like centuries. He doesn't know it yet, but he just found a secret that's been hiding beneath his entire town. A city. 60 meters deep, 11 floors, built to hold 20,000 people, complete with churches, kitchens, wine presses, stables, schools, and a defense system so clever that entire armies could be standing on the surface while thousands of people lived invisibly beneath their feet. This is Derinkuyu, the underground city that vanished from history until someone broke the wrong wall. Before we talk about who built it, you need to understand why it's even possible. The secret is the ground itself. Cappadocia, central Turkey. The landscape looks like another planet. Fairy chimneys, rock formations that defy logic. And beneath it all, volcanic tuff, soft stone formed from ancient eruptions. You can carve it with simple tools. Iron, bronze, even hardened wood. It's soft enough to dig, but strong enough not to collapse. And that changes everything. Because when the ground is easier to carve than wood is to build with, you stop building up. You start digging down. There are 36 known underground cities in Cappadocia. Derinkuyu is the deepest. Kaymakli is the widest. But they're all built from the same principle. The landscape itself is an invitation, an open door saying, "Hide here. You'll be safe." And people accepted that invitation. For thousands of years. Who started digging? We're not completely sure, but the earliest chambers probably date back to the Hittites, 8th century BC, maybe earlier. Then came the Phrygians, 7th century BC. They expanded it, turned simple caves into something more. Storage rooms, hiding places, small refuges from raiders and armies. There's not much documentation. These weren't grand projects recorded in stone tablets. They were survival, practical, desperate, and they worked. So people kept digging, generation after generation, expanding, deepening, creating a shadow city beneath the real one, an insurance policy carved in stone. If invaders came, you didn't fight, you disappeared. The whole village would vanish in minutes, and the enemy would find empty houses, silent streets, no idea that beneath their feet, thousands of people were waiting in the dark. Then came the Christians, early believers fleeing Roman persecution. Later, Byzantine Greeks escaping Arab invasions. They didn't just hide in Derinkuyu, they lived there. They expanded the ancient tunnels into something extraordinary, a functional city, 11 levels deep, kitchens with ventilation systems, wine presses, oil presses, stables for livestock, storage rooms for grain, schools for children, and churches, carved directly from rock, cruciform layouts, domed ceilings, all underground. There are stories, hard to verify but repeated by locals, that during raids, entire villages would disappear in minutes. One moment, houses full of people. The next, empty, everyone underground. Stone doors rolled into place, lights extinguished on the surface. And deep below, in low corridors, lamps would flicker to life. Thousands of people, invisible, waiting for the danger to pass. Derinkuyu became most active during the Byzantine period. Arab-Byzantine wars, 7th to 12th centuries, Later, Mongol invasions, 14th century. Timur's campaigns. Each time armies swept through Cappadocia, the population would vanish underground. Sometimes for days, sometimes weeks. The city wasn't just emergency shelter. It was a parallel civilization. During peacetime, upper levels were used as storage. Cold rooms for food preservation, wine cellars, but when war came, the entire structure activated, like a ship battening down for a storm. And the storm always passed. Armies moved on. Raiders found nothing to loot, and eventually people would emerge, rebuild, resume normal life, until the next invasion. Then back underground. This cycle continued for over 1,000 years. So how does it work? Imagine descending, level by level. The first floors? Stables, animal pens. The smell would have been terrible, but livestock was wealth. You couldn't leave them behind. Lower down, living quarters. Small rooms carved into walls, sleeping alcoves, communal areas, then kitchens, ventilation shafts drawing smoke up and out. You can still see soot stains on some ceilings. Further down, storage, massive rooms for grain, dried goods, water cisterns fed by underground springs, and at the very bottom, a church, cruciform, silent. The air down there is different, heavier. Even whispers echo. The engineering is incredible. Ventilation shafts descending 60 meters, supplying fresh air to every level. Without them, everyone would suffocate within hours. But the system works. Even today, you can feel air moving through the tunnels. Capacity? Estimates range from 20,000 to 50,000 people, with their animals, their supplies, everything needed to wait out a siege, for months if necessary. But the most brilliant part? Defense. Derinkuyu wasn't just about hiding, it was about control. Throughout the city there are round stone doors. They look like millstones. Massive, heavy, carved to roll into grooves that seal tunnels completely. And here's the key detail. They only lock from one side, inside. An invader could find an entrance, start descending, then hit a sealed door. No way through, no way to force it. Meanwhile, defenders on the other side could use small holes in the door to attack with spears or pour boiling oil. The tunnels themselves are narrow, low. An attacker would have to crouch, move slowly, vulnerable. Some passages are deliberately maze-like, dead ends, false routes. It's psychological warfare. Invaders would quickly realize that every step deeper was a death trap. Most gave up, and the city had 600 entrances, hidden in courtyards, basements, wells. You could live your whole life in surface Derinkuyu and never know the underground city existed beneath your house. But it gets stranger. Derinkuyu isn't isolated. Tunnels connect it to other underground cities. Makli is 9 kilometers away, connected by tunnel. Other cities too. Miles of passages linking separate complexes. This means entire communities could move underground, travel between cities, all invisible to surface armies, like an ancient subway system, but hidden. There are rumors, unverified, about tunnels that remain unexplored. Sealed sections, locals who know about passages but won't talk about them. Whether that's folklore or reality is unclear, but the confirmed tunnels alone are extraordinary. A network of survival, an invisible civilization existing parallel to the surface world. Of course, a place like this generates myths. Local folklore talks about battles between angels and demons in the sky above Cappadocia. Angels fleeing underground to hide, stories about jinn, demons, vampires, sealed in lower levels, blocked off to keep evil contained. Modern conspiracy theories are even wilder. Some claim the layout suggests defense against aerial attack, that ancient builders knew about threats from above, that aliens or lost civilizations provided the technology. There's no evidence, but the stories persist. Tour guides love them. In the tunnels, when lights go out, it's easy to believe. The darkness is absolute, total. And somewhere below the tourist levels, there are sealed passages, levels that aren't open to the public. What's down there? Officially, nothing exciting, just unstable tunnels, collapsed sections. But tourists want mystery, and Derinkuyu delivers. By the 20th century, Derinkuyu was mostly forgotten. The Byzantine Greeks who'd maintained it for centuries were gone. 1923. Population exchange between Greece and Turkey. Christians left. The underground cities were abandoned. Some locals used upper chambers as storage, cellars, wine rooms, but most didn't know the full extent. The lower levels were sealed, forgotten, a buried memory of a vanished community. The city above continued. Houses built over ancient entrances, courtyards paved over tunnels, and below, silence, darkness, waiting until 1963. That basement renovation, the broken wall, the discovery that went viral. Archaeologists arrived, started mapping. What they found was staggering. Not just a few rooms, an entire city. 11 confirmed levels, possibly more below. 600 hidden entrances, thousands of rooms. By 1969, part of the city opened to tourists. People descended with lanterns, hard hats, walking through tunnels that hadn't seen light in decades. The first tour groups must have felt like explorers, because in a way, they were. Discovering a world that had been erased from history, and then found again. By accident, today, 8 levels are open to visitors. You can walk through kitchens, churches, stables, see ventilation shafts, stone doors. But deeper levels remain closed, officially, for safety, structural concerns. But there's ongoing research, speculation about what else might be down there. Some archaeologists believe the city goes even deeper than 11 floors, that there are sections still unexplored. But excavation is slow, dangerous, and every new discovery raises more questions. How did they dig this deep without modern tools? How did they manage airflow so precisely? How did thousands of people live in darkness for weeks without going insane? We have theories, but we don't have all the answers. So what does Derinkuyu teach us? It's more than archaeology. It's a monument to fear and survival and human ingenuity. For over 1,000 years, people responded to violence not by fighting back, but by disappearing, building a second world beneath the first, a backup civilization, ready to activate when needed. It's a reminder that communities facing existential threats get creative. They adapt. They survive. And sometimes that means going underground. Today, Derinkuyu is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. We still build bunkers, shelters, backup systems. We're still digging, still preparing for the worst. Derinkuyu is just an carved-in stone, waiting in the dark. And maybe that's the real lesson. The city isn't just about the past. It's about what humans do when they're afraid. We dig deeper. We hide better. We survive. And one day, someone breaks through a wall,